I'm going to go over your algebra test review. So first we're going to start with some perimeter problems. And the first one is a rectangle. So because the bottom right here is 6x plus 4, the top is also 6x plus 4. Because the right side is 5x, the left side is also 5x. So whenever we write out the perimeter, we add it all together. So we have 5x plus 6x plus 4 plus 5x plus 6x plus 4. So we need to combine like terms. So let's combine all of our x's. We have 5x, a positive 6x, a positive 5x, and a positive 6x. So 5 plus 5 is 10, 6 plus 6 is 12, 12 plus 10 is 22x for my yellows. Oops, sorry. There we go. And then our constants, the numbers that are by themselves, we have positive 4 plus 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8. So our final answer is 22x plus 8. Our triangle has 3 sides, so it's perimeter. You just add the 3 sides together. So 4y plus 6 plus 2y plus 4 plus y minus 3. On my variables, I have 4y, a positive 2y. Remember to always take the sign in front of it, and a positive y. Whenever I add all those things together, 4 plus 2 is 6, plus another y is 7y. Those are all of my yellows added together. And then 6 plus 4 is 10, minus 3 is 7. Oh, and these are all my constants. So a positive 6 plus 4 is 10, and then minus 3 would be 7. So my final answer is 7y plus 7. All right, so these are solving equations, which means that we're going to have to do the opposite of what's being done in order to move it. For number 3, this is where our variable is. These are our sides. So I need to move everything from the right side that isn't the variable to the left, which means I have to move this positive 5 right here, plus 5, to the other side. Since it is currently being added, I need to subtract 5 from both sides. So 9 minus 5 is 4. What's left on my right is the h, a positive 5 minus 5, that gives me 0. So h is 4, is my answer. For this side, here are my 2 sides. This is my variable, so I need to move everything to the right-hand side. I have 2 things. I have this number that is right next to my variable, and then I have this number that is subtracted to the variable. You always move whatever is being added or subtracted first. In this case, 7 is being subtracted. In order to move it, you have to do the opposite. So minus 7, in order to move it, we have to add 7. And whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So I bring my 2 in down. That's still left. Minus 7 plus 7 is 0, so that cancels. And then negative 1 plus 7 is 6. You can use a calculator, but remember, you owe me $1. If you hand me $7, then now you've actually you've given me $6 extra. So anyway, the next one, my variable is here. I still need to move that 2 away from it. Since the 2 is right next to it, it means it's being multiplied, which means we have to do the opposite, which means we have to divide by 2 on both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you got to do the other. 2 over 2 gives me 1n, or just n. And 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. And now the variable is by itself, which means our answer is n equals 3. Here are our sides. My variable is right here. We have a number that is being multiplied by it. It's actually a fraction. And then we have a number that's being added. We always want to move the number that's being added or subtracted first. So plus 2, in order to move it, we got to do the opposite. So minus 2. And what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I'm just going to bring this part down because we haven't done anything to it. Plus 2 minus 2 gives me 0. They go away. 11 minus 2 is 9. Okay, to get rid of a fraction, you multiply both sides times its reciprocal. So you flip it. So I'm going to multiply this side by 5 over 3. And the reason is 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 5 is also 15. And then 15 over 15 would, of course, just give me 1. So what happens is it gives me 1k. So this is just kind of like a side note. You don't actually need to have that part, but that's why you multiply by its reciprocal. And whenever you do to one side, you have to do the other side. So 9 times 5 over 3. These end up giving me 1k on the left. And then whenever you multiply a whole number times a fraction, what you really are doing looks like this. 9 times 5 is 45. 1 times 3 is 3. So then we have to do 45 divided by 3, which is 1, and then 15. You could, of course, use a calculator if you would prefer to do it that way. So our answer is k is equal to 15. For number 6, this is our two sides. This is where my variable is. I have a number multiplied by it. It's a fraction. And then I have a number that is subtracting from it. And you always move whatever is being added or subtracted first. We're subtracting 3, so to move it, you add 3. And whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. I haven't done anything to this, so I'm just going to bring it down. Negative 3 plus 3 gives me 0. 11 plus 3 is 14. Then I need to get rid of a fraction. So just like the previous one, I need to multiply both sides times its reciprocal. This cancels, which leaves me with just 1x. And then again, you could do it in your calculator, but if not, it looks like this. 14 times 3, 4 times 3 is 12, 3, so 42 over 2, which means 42 divided by 2 would be 21. So x is 21 is my answer. Number 7. So we have to combine like terms first. There is a variable here and there is a variable here. So we need to combine those together. You always combine like terms first if you can. A plus 2a is 3a. And then I just rewrite everything. Now here are my two sides. This is my variable. I have a number multiplied by it because it's right next to it. And I have a number added or subtracted to it. We always move the number that's added or subtracted first. Because it's plus 7, we need to subtract 7 from both sides. This I just bring down. Plus 7 minus 7 is 0, so they cancel. And 82 minus 7 is 75. Now the 3 and the a together, which means that they're multiplied, so I have to divide by 3 to move it. And whenever you do to one side, you got to do to the other. 3 over 3 gives me 1a. And 75 divided by 3 is 25. So a is 25. All right, now we have two sides, but we have variables on both sides. We have one here and we have one here, which means we need to put them all on one side. You want to always move the smallest variable. We have a +2 and a -3. -3 is going to be smaller, so we're going to move that one. My -3, in order to move it, I have to do the opposite, which means I have to add 3x to both sides. (2x plus 3x is 5x. I'm just going to bring this down because I didn't do anything to it. -3x plus 3x gives me 0, and then I'm just going to bring this down because I didn't do anything to it. Now I have a variable on one side. I have a number that's multiplied by it and a number that is subtracting it. You always move whatever is being added or subtracted first. So -14, we add 14 to both sides. We're going to bring this down. -14 plus 14 give me 0. 6 plus 14 is 20. That 5 is multiplying by that x, so we need to divide both sides by 5. 5 over 5 gives me 1x. 20 divided by 5 is 4. All right, so first we have to distribute because there's nothing that we can combine like terms in. This is my two sides. And there is a variable, only one on this side. There are two on this side, but one is here. The other one's on the inside of the parentheses. So we need to get rid of the parentheses first. So we have to deal with those parentheses first, which means we have to distribute. So we're going to distribute this 3 to both sides. I'm just going to rewrite this guy because we didn't do anything to him. 3 times k is a +3k. 3 times 11 is a +33. And then I'm just going to rewrite this side because I haven't done anything to it. Now I have to combine like terms. On my right side, I only have one variable, but on my left side, I have 2. So I need to combine those. And now it's outside of the parentheses, so I can actually combine them. 13k plus 3k is 16k. And then I'm just going to rewrite everything because I didn't do anything else but combine like terms. Okay, now we do have variables on both sides, which means we need to move the smallest one. We have 16k and 8k, and 8 is going to be smaller. And since it is a +8, to move it, we need to subtract 8 from both sides. 16k minus 8k is 8k. I did not do anything to this 33, so I'm just going to rewrite it. 8k minus 8k is 0. And then I bring down a -7. That 7 is what's negative, not the 8k. So you need to bring down -7. Here is my k. I now have a number multiplied by it and a number added to it. So we always move whatever is being added or subtracted first. So we subtract 33 on both sides. Bring my 8k down. 33 minus 33 is 0. -7 minus 33 is -40. Then that 8 is being multiplied by that k, so we divide both sides by 8. 8 over 8 is 1, so it leaves me with just k. -40 divided by 8 is -5. So k equals -5. Last one. Okay, we have to get rid of these parentheses first, so we're going to distribute. On this first one, we are distributing a -4. Not just a 4, but a -4. And then over here, we're going to distribute this +3. We don't have anything with this guy, so we just rewrite it. Negative 4 times a positive 4x is negative 16x. Negative 4 times a negative 8 is a positive 32. 3 times a negative 8 is negative 24x. And 3 times a negative 1 is negative 3. All right, on the left-hand side, we have two variables here. So we need to combine like terms. Negative 3x minus 16x is negative 19x. Then everything else just gets rewritten. Oh, and here are my two sides. Okay, now we have variables on both sides. We need to move the smallest one. They are both negative, which means your bigger number is really your smaller one. Because if you think about people owing you money, who owes you the most? Well, the one who owes you $24. So to move negative 24, we add 24 to both sides. Negative 19 plus 24 is 5x. And then I'm just going to bring this 32 down. Negative 24x plus 24x is 0. I'm going to bring the negative 3 down. Remember that 3 is what's negative. The 24 was also negative, but the 3 is also negative. So we need to make sure that that 3 stays negative. Now here is my variable. I have a number multiplied by it and a number added to it. We always add or subtract first. Since it's plus 32, we do the opposite, which is minus 32 on both sides. Bring my 5x down because I didn't do anything to it. Plus 32 and minus 32 is 0. Negative 3 minus 32 is negative 35. That 5 is being multiplied by that x, so to change it, we divide by 5, and whatever you do to one side, you gotta do to the other. This gives me 1x, or just x. Negative 35 divided by 5 is negative 7. So x is negative 7. And that's it for your review.